more than 50,000 people killed, tens of thousands of homes and businesses destroyed, and millions more displaced. The two back-to-back earthquakes, which hit Turkey and parts of Syria on February 6th, have left behind a tale of destruction and misery in their wake. They have also put a spotlight on a very important question. Why can't we predict earthquakes?
The 2.2. Are models predictive?
One answer is that earthquakes may not be predictable, that we might understand the physical system and what's going on in the earth in general sense, but in terms of why an individual earthquake starts, it may depend on so many little details that we can never hope to understand it.
With the advancement in science and emergence of new technologies, we have come up with methods and tools such as early warning systems to foresee natural disasters, such as cyclones, floods, heat waves, and even tsunamis. But earthquakes have so far evaded us. Since Charles Richter came up with a method to measure the strength of an earthquake in the 1930s, scientists and physicists have struggled to say with certainty when the ground below our feet will shake next.
Once upon a time, we all thought that prediction was the holy grail of seismology, and it was the goal of seismological research. And it was there was a genuine effort, like in the 60s, 70s, but after that peak period, and scientists all recognized, and it was just simply impractical.
However, it's not like we don't know anything. We know a lot. For instance, we know earthquakes occur when two tectonic plates pull and push against each other, in the process releasing immense amount of pent-up energy. There are around a dozen or so tectonic plates, and the borders of these tectonic plates are known as faults or fractures. That is where the earthquakes occur. By studying the rocks and sediments along these faults, scientists have been able to figure out how often earthquakes have occurred along these faults in the past. This has at least allowed them to estimate what are the chances of the next big earthquake to happen.
It's hard to get people's attention about earthquake hazard because the next big earthquake, I'm in California, the next big earthquake on the San Andreas Fault could be tomorrow, like the 1906 earthquake, or it could be 100 years, and people have a lot of concerns.
This means scientists know for sure that which city or a district is most vulnerable to an earthquake. But an earthquake can happen tomorrow or maybe 300 years from now. For average people like you and me, we want to know the exact location, time, and magnitude of an earthquake, and only then it will qualify as a prediction. And so far, no one has been able to figure out answers of these three questions. Forget predictions, even estimates can go off mark. And the latest earthquake in Turkey and Syria are a prime example of that. Turkey sits on top of two very active faults, North Anatolian Fault and the East Anatolian Fault. While both faults are very active and have seen some big earthquakes in the past 30-40 years, most of the experts were expecting something to happen along the North Fault, which was responsible for the 1999 Izmit earthquake, in which more than 17,000 people were killed. But what happens on February 6th? The earthquake happens along the Eastern Anatolian Fault. For seismologists, the North Fault was a classic textbook example of how one earthquake can lead to another earthquake and then another and then another, like dominoes. When it comes to prediction of an earthquake, seismologists study what are known as precursors, the geological cues which can tell us something about when the ground will shake. These precursors are things like magnetic waves, the chemical composition of underground aquifers, and even a strange behavior of animals. But perhaps the most important precursor are the foreshocks, or little earthquakes which occur before a major earthquake.
If you know enough of what happened before earthquakes, and next time you just use these precursors to predict one. And that unfortunately hasn't worked. And the problem is a lot of things happen before earthquakes, but they also happen without being followed by earthquakes.
Well, experts say with the advancement in artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, they have a shot at predicting an earthquake. They can feed immense amount of data and information to these powerful computers in hope that they might be able to find a common thread between different earthquakes. But for now, it seems Mother Nature wants to keep all of us on our toes.
Sometimes it feels like it's just a message that, oh, you think you understand this, you think you can predict. Well, no, the Earth is more complicated than that.